Hey guys, so again, this is Dontez. Just going a little bit into what today's content is going to be over. I'm going to pretty much give you an idea of the last 3 mistakes that I made that were actually really educational mistakes, and they kind of had 2 fundamental reasons behind them. And spoiler alert, giving you a little bit of context of what I'm going to talk about. It all wraps around the idea of focus and awareness. And, just to define what those mean to me, focus would be my intentions or what I intend to focus on. And when it comes to awareness, it's more of my state of mind. And with that, we'll get into the content talking about how not having the right timing as well as the right amount of peak performance when consulting these 2 variables in trading and how it can lead you to potential problems. Without any more delay, let's get into the content. Yeah, so we're here. And the way we're going to do this is I talked about focus and I talked about a little bit of awareness. And where that comes into trading is in trading, there's going to be emotions and there's going to be money. Emotions is actually a big part of it because it's going to help you with your timing, and having intuition be a part of your trading is going to be that cherry on that strawberry or cherry on the top of the cake kind of thing. And in my case, I'm a little bit of low class, impulsive, naive at sometimes, and like all these other state of mind kind of self-conscious factors, and that helps or hurts my focus as well as my perspective in terms of seeing the bigger picture or the smaller picture when it comes to trading. And I'll just give you a few examples, specifically the last 3 times I made a mistake, and it just kind of occurred to me that like this is one of my problems that I have to attack more than I thought I would like a couple weeks ago. All right, so first one.
Morning, guys. I think this work. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. The play today, I already missed it. Are you serious? I was about to short this for a temporary short, waiting for some type of consolidation because it only needs like 3 to 5 million volume to break this, and it doesn't have it yet. But I was gonna be greedy and try to get that dollar on this pull, like dollar and a half. Oh, that's annoying. But something similar with a MBOT. It's gonna do a little pull, trap those early shorts. I was debating whether I wanted to be like half of that early short and then buy into the dip. I think I'm just trying to buy into the dip, which I don't want to play that game like too much. So I'm gonna buy now. Yeah, this is at least 10%.
Executed.
All right, I don't know if you caught that, but pretty much the market just opened, and I was trying to get into the bounce, or not even a bounce, like the opening spike, trying to like top ticket because I know there's like some bearish action that's going to happen and it's going to be like a pullback. The thing is, I messed up on that in already trying to attempt that in the first place. In terms of what's important, pretty much your focus is going to go to like 3 different entities. And in my case, I narrowed it down to the trader, the stock, and then the pattern. And so the pattern is what your opportunity is going to be. Like the only reason you're trading in the first place is because you see there's an opportunity. And it's not guaranteed that you're going to get, something fruitful or like, you're going to win or do something with that opportunity. But the opportunity is there. And what gives that like life is the pattern. And so that's why the pattern should come first. The next thing I would say would be when it comes to like viewing that opportunity and seeing if the opportunity window is still there or whether it's closed or whether it increased. That's where you have to look at the stock and just see what kind of develops. The last entity would be the trader. And so when it comes to the trader is, the person. And so it's not the bank account. It's the person that's watching the pattern and watching the stocks. And so it's kind of a state of mind. It's your emotions. It's your consciousness and like stuff like that. There comes a point where any negative emotion that clouds your judgment can eventually, blind you to what's actually there. And if you fester on that idea enough, you might actually make stuff there that's not even there. In my case, when I was trying to go in on this BFRI, it already had two tops around the 14 area, and it pulled back the previous day, and it was showing some actions that didn't really fit a pattern, but it fit a factor, which is, you know, a specific detail inside of the pattern. And so at the end of the day, the pattern is king. The pattern is going to like either do its normal pattern things, or it's going to break and then it's going to become something that's not a pattern. And if something's not a pattern, the opportunity is gone. And if the opportunity is gone, you shouldn't be in the stock trading at all. And in my case, my focus, due to like recent events, like that could be like, you know, me over trading or not having like the right discipline or frequent losses, or any other kind of, you know, environment or situation that like affected my judgment. It could even be something closer to just overall self-consciousness can skew what you actually see in terms of like your perception. In my case, when I went into this BFRI, I was going off the idea of like half a pattern and more of a factor idea. And when I see it went up to like the 13.9 area and I missed that like very small window, I was aiming for that, but I thought it would hold its gain a little bit more and then drop later. Technically, it did do that. I just didn't actually give it a chance to, you know, show itself again. And immediately I just switched to this negative mindset of, it's too late. I'm bad at this game, and like that kind of stuff. Like, you know, beating yourself up. That's an instant mistake that you can, you know, make that affect your future trades or the like rest of the day. So that's one mistake in terms of it's okay to focus on like what's there, what happened, but there's also a point where you have to just like let it go and understand that you can be wrong. But like that was like a very like quick opportunity that you saw right there. And it probably didn't like look like anything to you, but to me, it looked like my focus just shifted. And I talked about the three entities before, like the trader, the pattern, and then the stock. Just in that one moment, I went from, okay, I have this pattern in my head. I want this specific action to happen. These are my reasons. And those reasons came from the stock. The pattern came from, you know, just overall being a pattern. And then my mind state just went straight to negative. I missed the opportunities that came after that point where it went to around the same area, then dropped again. At one point, I got so self-conscious that I actually saw something that wasn't there. And I tried to dip by earlier than I was supposed to. And then I made a mistake that way. And then later, that mistake turned into a mistake on a different ticker. And know that, like, you know, a mistake on one ticker has nothing to do with a different ticker, even if they're in the same sector. They could be a sympathy play, but like there's no direct correlation. That's what's been happening a lot lately for me. So like that was just one mistake. That was the most recent mistake. Before that, I traded BVXV. Now this one was more of an awareness, less than a focus mistake. With the BVXV, long story short of what happened on this, I went in at 340 on this. And from that 340, 335 area, I only went in a third of what I borrowed because there was reason to believe, based off my observations and then understanding of like pattern, I thought this was going to go up. But I also recognized that the opportunity for this to go down is still there. And so I was only willing to give a third of what I borrowed right there, which, you know, it proved to be a correct decision. But the mistake I made was I ended up sizing in more into weakness. Like into this candle right here, it found some support. It found some support around the $3 area. And I wanted to bounce up to like 315 just based off my own personal statistics. It got to 310 after the point that I recognized that it had the ability to bounce, and eventually waiting for that 315 to happen because I want it to be like really exact, and I have a bad habit of doing that. I got to a point where I saw it drop to 290, which is another one of my places where I'm like, after 290 it's going to be almost too late for me to like add anything else without being able to hold it the correct amount of time. And pretty much I lowered my average from all the way from up here down to 305 by adding in the rest of my shares exactly at like 290. And then I brought my average all the way down to 305 because I added those shares into weakness. And now at that point, it went into a consolidation for a while. And then with that consolidation, it went sideways for a while, and I'm waiting for a crack. During that time that it went sideways, I made a mistake because, again, I got a little self-conscious. Like during this spike right here where it went up to $3, if I had my original entry, I knew I would be able to hold this until it made the crack, because originally I was trying to cover it like 250. When it went up to this area, I realized I had other stuff to do, and I didn't know if I could stay at the computer the whole time to like watch this. And so I was thinking very simply, maybe I could put a limit order so I can go do the thing I have to do and then risk like a very small amount instead of have to push the button myself. What I forgot was whenever you press the cover button, you don't press it for limit orders. You only press it for market orders. And you only press it when you're trying to cover a position or you're trying to size down on a position. In this case, I probably should have sized down on that position if I wasn't feeling comfortable enough to walk away. Instead, I try to put in a limit order, a full size limit order around 305, like my average. During that time, that limit order acted as a market order to cover my position right at like 288. With that, the whole idea of like the bigger picture just like shattered. And like that's another mistake, to where this isn't the first time I made this mistake. The first time I actually made this mistake was actually GME. And back when this was like in the, I think it was like 250s, there came to a point where I'm holding in the really big position. I'm waiting for it to crack. And I'm thinking, okay, I need to cover. Let me put a limit order so I can walk away and go do the thing I wanted, because I was trying to hold like a swing or something overnight. And eventually I just ended up taking like a really big loss because I did that limit order while it was going into strength. And so I took a lot bigger loss than I should have. Yeah, so that's like 2-3 mistakes right there. But if you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.